Hi, my name's John Storms, and today I am adding some more pixel wreaths to my display. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 pixel wreaths. Let me see if I can find a picture of my house. I know where I can find one. I will pull up the visualizer. There it is. All right. So here's a picture of my display, my house, and so I've already done these mega wreaths on the edges. I have these 3 wreaths in the middle. So in the after holiday sales, these are I think are 18-inch wreaths, 15-inch wreaths. They're just little guys. So in after holiday sales at Walmart, I found these 36-inch wreaths, which I'm going to put on 75 RGBs each. So they're going to be here, here, and here, and then I'll probably have it hooked up to a SanDevice 6804 or 682 to control them. But either way, I want to get them set up here in Light-O-Rama. Actually, I think I have a picture of what I'm planning on doing with them. If I go to D, Christmas, yeah. So like this is a picture. So this is the smaller wreath with 75, and it works really well with 75. And I go all the way around, and then I go up, go around again, and up and around again. See that? And those are pictures of the other wreaths. Okay, anyway, that's what I'm fixing to do here. So first thing I want to do is I need to update my channel configuration. Now the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put the first wreath on Universe 25 starting at channel 1, and then it will have 75 channels, which takes it out to an ending channel of 225. Second wreath continues on Universe 25 and goes all the way to channel 450, and the third wreath also starts on Universe 25 but ends on Universe 26 channel 165. Now I could go in and enter in all of these channels manually in the Light-O-Rama tool, but of course the easiest, fastest way to do it is through Bob's Vegomatic tool. And it's one because the old one expired in March 2015, so I had to go grab the new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, make new settings. I'm going to call this mini mega wreaths, and they're going to be, I'm going to have 3 of these, okay, and they are going to be 75 pixels each. Okay, now left, top, fold, wrap, all that doesn't matter because you can make it so this does things, but I really don't care. I'm just in it for the channels, right? So I'm not caring about it wrapping. It is DMX, that is important, and then I need to say what universe I'm starting at. So I'm starting at universe 25. I'm starting at channel 1. Okay, this is continuous. All right, so I say save, then I come over to export, and you say, okay, what's my starting config? In this case, I'm going to say it's 10. I did some other things in 12 and 11 and 12, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do this configuration. It's just one of my, when I go into sequence editor and I do export channel configuration, these are the files it saves it under. So I open that. Okay, so now that's open. Now I say, so that's the starting config, so it's loaded up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say export LCC combined. LCC is the config file. So what it's going to do is it's going to combine the configuration file I've already done with the new stuff that I'm adding here for my new wreaths. And this is what do you want to export it as, and I'm going to call it Vego. Yes, I just use that as a dump file. Okay, and it's pretty quick, so it's already done. Uh-oh. Alrighty then, well, we'll see what that does. Unhandled exception. That's nice. Alright, let me find my sequence editor. So right now I go to the bottom of my master track, and I always just add to the bottom of the master track. I don't delete, I don't insert, I'll reuse. Like these I had for red LED lights on my trees. I don't use them anymore, so I blanked them out and I can reuse them, but I'm not going to remove them, otherwise it screws up my my master channel. So I'm going to add to the end of this. So what I'm going to do here is I go into edit and I say import, and I'm going to import the Vego file. Cross my fingers that the Vegomatic did okay. And it takes a little while because it's a big configuration. It's not huge by any means relative to some of the huge displays you see, but it's a decent size. Okay, we're still waiting. It's loading up that configuration. It loads up that XML and it has to parse it out. Once it parses it, it loads it all into a big data structure. And here it is. Alright, so let me go all the way down to the bottom. And here I have my mini mega wreaths. See that? And each one is in its own string. And I open up that string. And there are 75 pixels in there, which is exactly what I want. Now, Bob's thing does a little bit too many groups for me. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to degroup this guy. So right click, degroup. Alright, and what that does is it just leaves it as string 1, 2, and 3. So now I'm going to rename these guys. And I call this mini wreath T2, because that's what I call that part of the house, 1. Let's keep it shorter. I'll call it MW. So mini wreath T2 1. And then the next one, we'll rename that accordingly. 2. And we'll rename this one 3. Okay, so that's pretty good. So now I'm going to save this. I'm going to save it as pre-XML just because I don't want to interrupt another project I have going. It's always good to save in multiple files because if you do screw up, you can then kind of walk your way back. Okay, so these are all here. Now there's one other thing that I don't like about the Vegomatic. Vegomatic's a great tool. Okay, I'm not ditzing it whatsoever. But the individual channels, I don't like how it names them, because when I go into the animator, which is this button right here, right, this guy here, if I go into there and I'm trying to add pixels, it's hard to tell them apart because the Vegomatic will name them RGB1, RGB2, RGB3, and so on when I pull them up on this list here. So if I say I'm using this master channel and I want to add something, and I still use this, maybe I'm the only one, but I really like it. I think it's fast. It keeps up with all the shimmers, though the new visualizer does a good job, much better job than it has in the past. Oh, I have to actually say I'm going to draw. Okay, so if I come into here, and let me scroll all the way down to the bottom where I have these. See, it's hard to say exactly which these are. They're not very descriptive. So I want to make them a bit more descriptive. Okay, so let me get out of here. I'm even going to close this file. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a notebook tool. And Notebook itself works fine. It's an editor. Not a notebook tool, an editor. I got Notepad++ just because it handles big files well. So I'll go in here, I'll find my sequences. Alright, and this is the pre-XML file I was working with, and it's going to open it up as XML. Okay, now what I can do is I go look for my RGB1, alright, and you see this is the stuff I just added. See, it's on network 25, which means universe 25, and it's RGB1, and then RGB2 will represent all of my second one. See that? So this is my second wreath. So what I want to do is I want to make these a bit more descript. So first of all, I know that there aren't any other RGB 1, 2s, and 3s, right? Because I switch them as I go. If there were, this wouldn't work. But if I've just added these and I don't have other strings titled RGB1, this works just fine. So I can do Control H, and I can say search for RGB1 and rename it. I'm going to do it the same as I did in here. Here it's a little off. I'm going to call it mini wreath T21, which is exactly what I want. Now to make the search a little more specific, I put a space on the end of each one because there is a space. I say place all. 300 occurrences, which makes sense, right? Because you think about there's 3 channels, then the group for each one of those times 75, that gives you 300. So now I come in, I do the same thing for RGB2. Okay, replace all. Again, 300, that's how many I was expecting. Because for each RGB channel, there are 3 sub-channels and the channel group. And this one, I swap that up for 3. Replace all. Okay. Exit out of there. Save this. Okay. Now that that's saved, I can go in and open that file up again. Open recent. I want that pre-XML file. Yeah, and we wait. We wait. We wait. This is the other file I was playing with before, so don't mind that. Okay, the pre-XML file's up. So I open up this guy here. You see that? I've renamed all of these channels. And now, if I pull them up in the animator, set this to draw, give it a second to load the select list, go down to the bottom here, you see that? Now these are easy to pick out. See? Nice and easy. So I've added those to my XML here. So let me close this one. Let me open up my real file. And this I did before, and it's exactly the same, except I think I named it just a little bit different. And we wait because it's, you know, not responding. Alright, scroll down to the bottom here. Make sure everybody's the way I like them. They are. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go and add these guys to the visualizer so that I can, you know, see how they look when they're actually running. So I go back to here. I say, oh, it's right there. Alrighty, so now I want to add these wreaths into here. So this is a little tricky. So here I have the draw pixel string. I have draw regular lights, cosmic color. These aren't cosmic colors. Floods. These aren't floods. Single bulbs. No, that would be a lot of work. This is an arch wizard. These aren't arches. Trees. No. CCR draw wizard. Matrix. I'm going to use the draw pixel string. So I click on that. And here what I want to do is I have 3 loops. I want to draw it very similar to how I have it. So I come in here and I start drawing circles, and we'll see how good of a job I can do. Oh wait, it's not circles, it's... I messed up. Try it again. I'm trying black on black. That's nice. Oh, that is going to be a pain. How do I make it so I can see it? Well, maybe I can... Is lightening this up? No, that would make it worse. So that's so dark. So let me do this. I didn't change anything. I shouldn't have to save it. Pull up Photoshop. Actually, I don't think I need to do Photoshop. I think what I can do is I can say Edit, Options, Background Properties. So I think I have multiple versions of this. So this is the Arrowwood same picture not lightened up? Yep, it is. Okay, so I'll use this one to draw my props. Now here, this is drawing by universe. Okay, so this is universe 25. And my wreath has 3 loops. And then here I go up a little bit like this. I begin the second loop. Come on, mousey, just a little bit. There we go. Then down. Come down to where this one ends, and then I go up again, for this is the third and final loop. And back down to the end. Whew. Okay, so this prop, we're going to call this mini wreath 1. And it has 75 pixels. Okay, so we save that temporarily. Make it a little darker. What? Oh, it says there's an error. Okay, get used to that with this tool. You get a lot of those. So I had to click on this. Nope, that's the other wreath. That's a snowflake. There it is. Okay, right click, properties, and I say this is universe 25. Starting at pixel 1. Okay. Now I go to save. It says, yeah, that's cool. Alright, hit play. It should say, yep, everything's great. So now it's waiting. Now I don't have anything programmed in there, so let me go steal from this line here. And I will copy that. I'll post it here, and then here. See, it's overlapping because there's too many channels, but I just want the first 75. Alright. I hit play, go back to the visualizer. It's doing its thing where it thinks about it. See, there's my new wreath doing its thing. Made it it's probably not that big.
The world is a carousel of color.
I guess I can still look at it. But it's pretty cool. Alright. Now, for this next one, now all this white stuff, those are actually numbers that are being shown in the display, just really small and tight. So you gotta figure, okay, this is about the same place I started before. And I'm still on universe 25 here. I go up a little bit. Now I'm starting my second loop. These little concentric circles in between. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's nice if it's perfect, but the point here is to get a representation of what it's going to look like. Okay, so I'll call this mini wreath 2. And this also has 75. Okay, so now instead of waiting for the warning to pop up when I go to save, go in here, properties, this is universe 25, and what's my starting pixel? Well, there were 75 here, so this would be pixel number 76. Alright. It's gonna scream at me. Nope. See? Now it's doing its thing. And you say, oh, those bulbs are a little bit too big. Let me stop this. Let's see here. Right, turn that off so you can hear me. I'm going to do... Let me do this first. No, not that wreath. So this one I have at level 1 background. It's all the way up against the house. There can be nothing behind it, so I'm going to set it to this one to be level 1 too. No, it already is. Okay, I'm going to set the bulb size to 1. I'm going to set this the same. Sorry, set to 1. Set the bulb size to 1. Okay, save it. Play it. I kept the old wreaths there, just for reference. I'll probably delete them once I get a little bit further along. Now they're doing their thing. Stop the music. Alright, now I have the third one. Third one is going to be fun. Third one I have to do is 2 different ones, because you can only have, for this pixel string tool, you can't split universes. So I go back to my spreadsheet. The first one is going to be 25, start on universe 25, and then I got to figure out how many, pixels that's going to go for. Now, how many pixels on universe 25 am I actually using? So I come back to here, I pull up my third wreath, and I start probing. Okay, this one is still universe 25. Here we're on 26. Here we're on 26. Getting close though. Alright, so it goes up to pixel 20. Okay. This is pixel 20. Actually, yeah. Okay, so I come back over here to the visualizer. And I'm going to do up to pixel 20. So pixel 20, how far does that get me into when I actually have to draw this? Let me go to my notes that I have for my wreaths here. Because I need to know how far to draw into it. Small wreath mappings. Okay, pixel 20 is around the first loop, almost to the 3/4 mark. Okay. So I come in, I'm going to draw it. I'm going to start down here at the bottom like I did the others. Up a little more. Here's the apex, coming down the 3/4 mark. And right there. So I'm going to call this one Mini Wreath 3 Part 1. And it only has 20 pixels. Okay, so that has 20 pixels in it. Okay, properties, this is going to be on universe 25. Starting at pixel, so far, let's see, we had 75, 75, that's 150, and then 20 more would be 170. No, it would be 150. 170 is how many I've total used, which, since it was the last one, was the right one. Now it's 150 I've used, but I'm actually starting on 151. It's the next pixel. Okay, now I kind of make a mental note of where I stopped that one. Now I'm going to do part 2. So I'm going to pick it up right here, come down, and now I'm going to jet up for the second one. This is really confusing with all the lettering. I should be wearing my glasses for this. Over the top, coming back down. Now for the inner loop. Up. And there. So this is going to be Mega Wreath 3 Part 2. How many pixels? Well, let's see, I already used 20, there's 75. So this would be, what, 55? And then 55 plus 20 would give me my 75. Okay, so now, oh no. Okay, that's the first part. That's the old wreath. That's the first part. There's the second part. Properties. Universe 26. Starting at pixel 1. Okay, stick it to play mode. Okay, didn't give me any warnings, which is nice. I hit play. See, they're all going. So let me stop this quick. Come in here. Well, yeah, this one too. Properties, make sure it's the right background, and I want those bulbs to be size 1. I forgot to do that. I want to set these bulbs at 1. So I have 2 graphics that I'm using for the background. So this one is kind of the light version that I can use for editing. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch my background back to the dark one. Same picture, just lightened up. See that? Now I hit play and I can see what it looks like in the dark. So these are the 3, these represent the 3 wreaths that I just added. These aren't mapping the same as these, but that's because these is exactly these are the wreaths. So I will model these differently when I actually go to the sequence.
The world is a carousel
This big
of
guy here is a floodlight. I haven't put all my floods in there yet.
a rainbow of imagination, a blue rolling sea,
So this is just my test sequence.
a red summer rose, a sunset in the sky. Beauty untold is ours to behold, to dazzle your mind and yours. The wonderful world of color. The wonderful world of color. So wonderful, so
This is just my test sequence.
beautiful to see.
So this is short.
And the
nice. Okay, so I think those guys are added now, so I think we can call it done.